Okay, so I've been doing the road repair in my HOA. I've used about 70 buckets asphalt sealer. They're 5 gallon buckets. They weigh like 55 pounds. Oh, says my connection is unstable. Testing, test. Okay. Anyway, um, yeah. So um way into the job, 2/3 of the I was doing way, and I used 5 buckets of sealer, and it was hot out, and I felt a little lightheaded afterwards, and that's the sign of, that's how I looked it up, that it's ethylbenzene was the main, toxic fume seen from the sealer, and I didn't, like, literally get dizzy, but I realized that, I was getting, like, toxic, um, damage to the brain, and, that, I was getting, like, toxic, um, damage to the brain, and, let's see. So then that night, my dreams were super and basically like psychic, and I was really surprised because normally I haven't been much summertime. I like barely. My dreams usually aren't very vivid, and also like I'm online a lot, and being online like sucks spirit, so you're not focusing it, internally. Like if you're meditating, you can get really vivid dreams, you can get precognitive dreams. So I know what visions are like. And so then I thought, well, I better start wearing a gas mask. Um and then then a couple nights ago I did another big driveway job for two people at the same time, and I ended up using, well, again, it was 5 bucks, and I thought, "Well, it's windy out and it's cooler, so I'll probably be okay." But then sure enough, I felt a bit lightheaded again, and that night, I had, like, this, like, super visionary, um it felt, like, really alive, like I was in the dream, and it was definitely psychedelic, like, it was felt, like, really profound as far as my, sort of like emotional connection. It was being like inside a movie basically. I mean, it's more just this like vast, profound sense to it. And so then when I woke up in the morning, I'm like, wait a second, benzene is an aromatic ring, and Stuart Hameroff, his whole argument is that the aromatic ring has these unique double bond structure to it. That's what they call a Dirac spin. So you have basically you have an extra electron, and the electron has one half spin. So it's called pi resonance. That's what the term is. So this pi resonance means that the spin, like this is the one half spin of the electron when you measure it, but before you measure it, it has this inherent non-locality to it. And he's arguing found in the tubulin proteins inside the microtubules have tubulin proteins that in the pyramidal neurons in the brain that have tryptamine. When the tryptamine goes in those tubulin proteins, it forms this one half spin of the electron, the pi resonance. And so when you have serotonin type molecules like dopamine, um, and what else? So just like DMT, and similar molecules to DMT, like, for psychedelic experiences. So he argues that um, psilocybin and DMT are actually actually increase the frequency of your consciousness because it's based on the the wavelength of light. You get a resonance in the brain, and the it actually then resonates with this virtual photon. It's non-local, and it's emitted by the tubulins in the brain, and it's emitted through the ultrasound. At the ultrasound frequencies when it's increase in frequency in the brain that then actually allows you to access this non-local realm of consciousness. So even though benzene is obviously a toxic drug, I actually emailed Stuart Hameroff, and I never heard back from him because I mean he probably wouldn't want to go on record that benzene also like a psychedelic drug because of the aromatic ring structure, and all. But actually, the red blood cell is very similar to chlorophyll. Chlorophyll photosynthesis works the same way, where you have that same aromatic ring structure, and you get the extra electrons. So it's always able to capture the a photon, and then and that's how photosynthesis works. And like it resonates around the ring, and it does it at superluminal speed because all those double rings are like overlapping with the extra electron, the one half spin. And so your red blood cells actually, work the same way if you meditate and you activate the ultrasound through the collagen in the body, the tubulin in the microtubules in the collagen with the ultrasound, and then the listening process is it's does this ultrasound, but then you also have a subharmonic um, undertone, what they call beat, and that's what the ELF frequency is for life on Earth. Is that it's actually a quantum tone, what Andrea Puhar figured out. Um, but anyway, so he also realized this. Andrea Puhar, first one to realize that this aromatic ring structure is the secret to the quantum consciousness. And so the Stuart Hameroff orc model kind of is almost replicating Andrea Puharich, but Andrea or Hameroff, the microtubules ability to have that pi resonance molecule inside, and that's what like activates the photon, resonance, the virtual photon, but it does it through the ultrasound. So you have the ultrasound is like a mechanical and also chemical overlap, and so it like provides they call it superluminal. It's basically like room temperature superconducting energy in our neurons in the microtubules, and then possibly in the body as well, in the collagen, and it interacts with the blood, the red blood cells, and that's how alchemy works. Deep meditation or prayer, it's the yin qi is in the blood, and then the yang qi is in the collagen fluid and the neural hormones. So yeah, it was pretty fast. Actually, the psychic, but then wearing a gas mask. So last night I wore a gas mask. I made sure it was nice and tight, and I did not get didn't smell any asphalt fumes. But I was using less asphalt, so less sealer. But yeah, I think I've done like 70 buckets. I think I have 5 buckets of sealer left, so I'm trying to make it last. I don't know, it's gonna be a challenge, but I'm trying to make it last. I don't know, it's gonna be a challenge, but I have like 20 driveways and half a mile I've been doing. I also use cold patch asphalt with a stomper to tap that, to stomp it down. People have been driving on it, and overall, people are saying, said I'm doing a good job. It's look- oh, the other thing is I've been putting in backer rods, so I've been like literally hand weeding the road with some knife, like while squatting, and then pushing in backer 3/8, and then because some of the cracks went all the way through the road, so I could put like 5 layers of backer rod just to make sure it stays filled in, and then put in the crack filler, jugs of crack filler. I got 8 jugs left. So I'd probably use like 60 jugs of crack filler, and yeah, I don't know. It's been a big job, but I think my brain will. It's been a big job, but I think my brain will survive the asphalt fumes. Anyway,